It did not record the first time. I had one of the settings wrong and it didn't rotate, so the live didn't work. I'm gonna give this a go. Let me turn my sound down so I can see if you join. What we did was I introduced my new character from my Watercolor Woods, Oliver the Bullfrog. And I started with a base foundation of Oliver right here. And for those who wanted to see how Pip from 2 weeks ago turned out, Pip is the watercolor deer mouse who lives in the big cypress, bald cypress tree of the Watercolor Woods over near Graphite Glades. And Oliver lives in Canvas Creek. And I'm going to work a little bit on this one. I have the reference photos linked below this video. If you go over to free reference photos for artists, and it's a Facebook group, and look up or search Linda McMillan. The information and the spelling is in the description below. You'll find a lot of her bullfrogs from her backyard. So I am painting them and creating a new character. Now I'm putting 8 on the page. 7 of them are from her and 1 is from another photographer on that website. I love that Facebook group. Let's see, what do we have here? Okay, he's peeking out. I think I need my detail brush here. Anyhow, I can't show you because of the copyright those reference photos, but you can go grab them for yourself. And I'm going to work on figuring out my little guy here. This Oliver, I looked up, me and my grandchildren were trying to name him. I decided to look up the boys' names, the most popular ones for 2024. And when I did, it said Oliver. And I thought, well, that's perfect because Oliver reminds me of olive, the color for my bullfrog. So his name is now Oliver. Okay. While I'm painting, I've also been studying a little bit about bullfrogs so that I can begin making sure that Oliver looks like a boy, not a girl. Because I do believe some of my bullfrogs in the reference photo are girls. And I need a young man. So the starters, and you can't really tell it from the reference photos, so this was not a good one for this instance, but you can, male frogs are bullfrogs in America, are smaller than the females. So that is one way to tell. They're quite a bit smaller. Also, they tend to be the frog that you dissected in high school, if you remember if you're old enough to remember dissecting frogs in school. And what was the other thing? Oh, the underside here of the throat is yellow on the males. It is white on the females. It will have brownish black mottled in there, but the base color of the throat. And the little ear thing, I can't remember the name of it. You can probably see this one easier. Is the same size as the eye for the females and larger than the eye on the males. Now, it could be other differences, but that's what I've gleaned from my studies. Okay, I'm confused. What do we got going on here? There's a lot of reflection going on in this reference photo. So, and I'm using a detail brush because I'm trying to map in where some things go. I didn't use too much pencil on this. I don't like to if I don't have to. Okay. His face is going right there. I want to remember that. Make sure I get that 3D in there. You always paint in the direction of fur, feathers, in his case, the direction I want the shading and everything to go. Let me see. I think I want this. Now, you guys know, if you look below, I like using Princeton Aqua Elite watercolor brushes. I'm not paid to say that by any means. They don't know that I use them. But it is one that I like. Let's see, we have he is swimming. The upper part is here, the lower's here, and it's not going to make sense to you until further into this painting. Trying to get these leaves that are in her pond. I don't know if this is her pond or her just an area in her backyard where this little bullfrog hangs out. But Oliver is cute. He loves jumping. I'll read you a little bit from my journal on his character. I've been working on his character for the story with my grandchildren. Okay. I'm not liking this. It needs to go. There we go. Because he has an eye going there. And he has one that comes down here. There we go, that's his face. And then we have his body back here, which is blurred because it's partially in the water. Okay, I think I want to get some black in there around him so that I can see him. Because it's really dark. Usually if you catch these guys out, it's dark. While I was doing research for these guys, I found some disturbing information, but I do understand it. The Nebraska and a few other states have what they call bullfrog festivals because they get so many of them, they tend to become a nuisance. It's not too good for the bullfrog, though. Let's see. Because they tend to become dinner. This is going to come up. Trying to get my shadows in the water here. Differentiated from Oliver so that I can tell better where he's at. Now this black will take quite a few layers to get it good and dark, so that's why I'm starting on it now instead of waiting. See, he has a leg that comes out there, so I want to make sure I keep that. He has an eye and a few other things popping in down there in the reflection. Okay, let me come over here. Sketch in a little of this dark. You see some birds and snow in the background. I'm in Tennessee, pet sitting right now, so the background looks a little different than normal. And they have an area where they feed their birds. And I thought it'd be cute as a backdrop for a video, because this is where I paint when I'm over here. I like to sit at this little table in there. I call it a sunroom. Some people call it a Florida room, whatever you want to call it. And paint while I watch the birds. We have an awful lot of blackbirds and grackles out there today. Okay. Now, it doesn't make a lot of sense right now. It will look more like probably this one before I'm done. But I need to let a lot of that dry. While we're working on that, let's let that dry a little bit before I do some more. Okay, I've been working on characters. We have Pip. I think I showed you that. Pip the deer mouse. Her character is already up on my blog, on my website. Also, I plan to be working out on my Patreon ways, not just teaching, because I teach my process on Patreon, but also working out a tier where you can get collectible cards with these characters on them eventually. But I haven't quite got there yet. I need to get some more characters first. Okay, we have Oliver the bullfrog. The idea behind him right now is he's one of Pip's friends, Pip the deer mouse. They both live in the Watercolor Woods. Oliver is a bullfrog of Canvas Creek in the Watercolor Woods. His mossy green and brown body seamlessly blends with the nearby foliage. His nimble webbed feet allow Oliver to traverse Canvas Creek and leap with remarkable distance and precision. His agility and mastery of acrobatics help him navigate the water's edge. Oliver's leaps and quick reflexes make him a fun and playful addition to the Watercolor Woods. Now, if you want to hear about Pip, I read you hers a few weeks ago. Just head back and take a peek at that. And also, if you follow me on social media, you'll be able to watch me finish this when I get it done. And I don't want to do too much on this today. I try to not do more than 20-30 minutes on my lives right now, because that seems to be everybody's attention span. Now, if you have any questions, you're welcome to ask. If you're not live, if you're watching this in a replay, just post a comment and I'll get back to you. But that's the whole point in this, is to be able to chat and talk with others while I'm painting. Okay, how are we doing over here? I'm going to do a little bit more on this side real quick while we let the other one dry. Alright, let's see here. I have his leg here. This one's Oliver's sitting on some rocks. Let's see. We have his little ear will go right there. There we go. We'll put the little ear right there. Make sure it's just a tad bigger than the eye, because I want to make sure that anybody who knows better knows he's a little boy. Okay, there's that. I want some They said you're welcome to head over to my Patreon anytime to learn about the process. Got a little bit of shading in there. Let's see, we have an eye there. Now, there'll be a lot of layers to this little guy. There we go. Okay. There's a long ways to go on this little guy before he's recognizable. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry. I'm gonna let that one dry some more. How long have we been going here? Okay. If you want to know more about my watercolor woods, I'm posting the characters on my blog. And you can take a look there. Let's see, let's get the reflection down here. Remember to go the opposite direction on the reflection. That's pointing down, so this should be pointing up. And over here, there's not a whole lot of detail in these. I am trying to get what I can in there, but these will not be really, really detailed. Mainly around the face here. For some reason this eye looks off. Oh, I need the green behind it. Let's see. This eye does have more green coming, just like this one does. Okay. Let all this dry. Follow me on social media if you want to see these come to fruition and watch the painting finished. I'm not sure. I might still be working on some of these next week, wherever I'm at, you'll see. Also, my color palette, you guys know I use a minimalistic Winsor Newton palette, which is, doesn't matter what colors. It's blues, reds, yellows, and some neutrals. mixed with a little bit of either the white watercolor or white gouache. I have white gouache in here at the moment. And I will see you next week. If you'd like to join me, we can chat and talk while I paint. And you can paint also. We can discuss paintings, we can discuss technique, we can discuss anything you would like. So I'll see you next Thursday at 1 o'clock. Bye-bye.